If you've inherited a house and you found out that there are medical bills or liens tied to the house, one of the first questions people ask is, oh my gosh, is this going to eat up all of the money? And the answer is not necessarily, and in a lot of cases, significantly less than most people fear. If you've inherited real estate, my name is Nate Clark. I'm a Texas probate real estate agent. I help heirs and executors sell probate homes every single week. Let's get into the answer to this question. So the first big thing to understand that should hopefully give you some relief is that personal debt is not tied to you as an heir or an executor of the property. Those debts belong to the estate. Creditors can make claims against the estate, but they cannot come after you personally. This distinction alone usually lowers people's stress immediately. So what are liens and how do they affect the house? Well, a lien is any debt that's secured by property. The most common one being that most of us are familiar with is a mortgage. Common liens I see in probate cases, aside from a mortgage lien, are property tax liens, HOA violations, IRS liens, judgment liens, or contractor or mechanics liens. If a lien is attached to a house, it generally must be paid off, negotiated, or resolved prior to closing on the sale of the property. Now, the good news is typically you don't have to go and pay this stuff up front. Typically is paid out of the net proceeds at closing. So before you get your money, the title company receives all the money from the buyers. They're going to pay off the mortgage lien. They're going to pay off any HOA violations, any tax liens, etc., and the remaining proceeds flow through the estate and are distributed to the heirs. Now, medical debt is important because it is not secured debt. That means it is not a lien directly against the house. And it must be properly filed as a claim during probate. In many Texas cases, medical debt is reduced or unpaid or only settled if the estate has cash and can actually pay the debt. So this is completely different from a mortgage lien or a property tax lien. Medical debt does not automatically become a lien. Now, it can become a lien if the creditor sues the estate, wins a judgment, and then records that judgment. However, this is not all automatic, and it must be done by them during the probate period. This is why probate deadlines and claim deadlines really matter. Now, in most real-world situations, what I see is that before even assisting you with the sale of the house, we'll actually open title and we'll find what additional liens are against the property that we may not be aware of. So the title company identifies those liens early. Medical debt can be addressed through the probate process. The house is sold. Liens are paid off by the title company at closing, and then the heirs inherit the remaining proceeds through the estate. And very rarely does everything get taken by these creditors. So some common mistakes that can make things worse for heirs is panicking and assuming that they can't sell the house, paying creditors in the wrong order, ignoring lien notices, and letting the house sit without a plan. Most of these are avoidable with the correct guidance. So if you've inherited the house and you've found out that it has liens or medical debt on it, the worst thing that you can do is assume the outcome before actually fully understanding what all your options are. If you're in Texas and you're trying to figure out how these issues might impact selling and the real estate side of things, I'm happy to have a good conversation with you, also connect you with all the right professionals. You'll find my contact info down below.